I've made a lot of videos in the last 5 years, but none of them are as controversial as the video that I made about switching off post-exertional malaise. The video is 2 years old and it has already gathered quite a lot of comments. Let's look into it. The first one is from Skish72, who says, "Absolute rubbish you're talking. Post-exertional malaise is caused by exercise. I'm a kite surfer and surfer with ME, and I know when I overdo it. Currently in a bad relapse, so no surfing anymore. Don't psychologize this disease. 100% BS. You never had this if you're coming out with this nonsense." Exercise definitely causes it, my friend. Definitely. Full stop. And the funny thing is that I used to believe the exact same thing. I used to believe that my post-exertional malaise was 100% physical. But after I managed to switch it off just like that, I had to rethink what was going on. And to explain that, we have to talk about kite surfers, dog walkers, and the limbic brain. A funny fact from my side is that I used to be a kite surfer before I developed chronic fatigue syndrome and post-exertional malaise. And because of that, I could no longer do that. And I really missed it. It was the beach culture, cool people. It was a wannabe vibe as well on my side. And most of all, it was adrenaline, because I was an adrenaline junkie. I really enjoyed being stressed. Whereas right now, I hike with my dog. And not doing that doesn't cause an identity crisis. But of course, I didn't know that. And my post-exertional malaise used to be awful, sometimes lasting up to a week. And I could usually predict it within 24 or 48 hours after every activity. It hit me, my muscles started cramping up and everything was just painful. So I fully believed that it was the exercise, 100%. No mindset stuff, no emotion, just broken biology, or so I thought. It's important to know that any activity what you're doing, whether it is kite surfing, going to the fitness, or just walking, the peripheral nervous system isn't just sensing movement and pain. It's also picking up on emotional charge in the body, certain thoughts that you might be having, beliefs about the exercise, the fear of crashing, and maybe most importantly, old stress that you stored in your muscles, because this is also being released through movement. And all of those signals, they go to the amygdala, which asks, is this safe or dangerous? And if it labels the effort, the sport, or the emotion or the thought or anything like that as dangerous, the limbic brain will then trigger a protection cascade. Your nervous system will switch to the fight or flight response. Your blood flow will change. The stress chemistry in your body will change. And there can be rapid ATP use, and therefore the switch to lactic acid. It's like your brain slamming the brakes by making movement feel impossible. The emotional danger might be directly linked to the activity. For example, the fear of crashing, or the fear of failing, or the fear of not being able to do it. It can also be about a limited belief that gets triggered during or after the activity. If I'll get worse again, I might lose everything, for example. Or old stress that is stored in the muscles might come up later when the system is safe enough to process it. And that might hit the cascade. So the biology is real. ATP is used, lactate is real, post-exertional malaise is definitely real. But the reason that your body chooses to create that response is upstream. It's in the limbic brain. And the more conscious that this old stress becomes, the faster the post-exertional malaise will hit. So in the beginning, it might take 2 days, but eventually it can hit you directly, immediately in the moment. So going back to the kite surfer, people don't usually identify as dog walkers. If I can't walk the dog one day, then there is no ego collapse. But being a kite surfer, being an athlete, being a high performer, losing that can activate all kinds of emotions and fears and processes in your body. The same counts, for example, with a university teacher that develops brain fog, and you might become very afraid of losing your identity. And that fear can cause your brain to develop this cascade of the protection mode that we can call post-exertional malaise. In my own journey, I was anticipating on post-exertional malaise. It was one of my worst symptoms. And after I managed to release other symptoms, I was testing it with post-exertional malaise. So I did activities and exercises with the hope to develop post-exertional malaise. And indeed, it came. Now, usually, I was always fooled in the beginning of the process. Maybe for up to 4 or 5 hours, I actually thought that I overdid it. But then, in the back of my mind, I had this voice always. What if I can release it? And I might think, oh, that's stupid. But what did I actually have to lose, right? Let's say that doing 20 minutes of the release work would make me feel better. What do I have to lose? And every time when I started doing this, despite my skepticism, I actually managed to release it, to cry a little bit and to feel better. And usually the post-exertional malaise just wound down within an hour. And many clients experience the exact same thing. In the beginning, they're certain that it's 100% physical. They're skeptical that releases could help. Yet, when they fully go into this emotional process, the post-exertional malaise wave shortens, or it doesn't land the same way. Post-exertional malaise is real, but exercise is not the root, it's the trigger. The root is what the limbic brain reads in that moment, whether it is a fear related to identity, a belief, an emotion, or old stored stress. So, what activity feels most dangerous to your system right now and why? And what are your experiences with post-exertional malaise and releases? I'm happy to read it. Thank you for watching.